Hello guys, and welcome back to another For Honor Hills build video with me, Daniel Does It. Today we're focused around the Shaman, and the mode we're focused around is Dominion. Let's go ahead and get into the 3-perk selection as always. So for Dominion, I messed around a little bit. I was like, man, do we want to go Clever Tactics? Do we want to go Headhunter? Clever Tactics is pretty nice if you want to capture those zones a little bit faster. But once you capture the zones, which sometimes you guys will be like holding each other's zones pretty well, you and your teammates, I feel like this one, since they changed Breach, is way better for Breach. So I went in over and said, you know what, might as well give myself some more life in the end, so we go into this battle longer. We have Endurance as well, which increases our stamina cost reduction by 3% per renown level, which means a renown level is when you have a feat. So, you know, for instance, the second feat would be like Bear Trap, right? That'd be renown level 2. At that point, you'll have 6% stamina cost reduction on all your moves, like Bite, Guard Breaking, Fading, Heavies, Lights, etc. And now we have Rebony. So not only are we going to get kills from being, heal from getting in zones, but instead of like Devour, where you have to actually get an execution to get additional health, whether you execute or not a player, you're going to get Remedy. Now, if you execute a player, you're going to get the regular amount of health you would get off of your execution, plus 10 more health from the Remedy. So Remedy, I feel, works beneficial with the Dominion build. Now moving on to why I'm saying I have Headhunter over Clever Tactics. I already told you that, but I decided, hey, you know, you already heal a lot when it comes to the Shaman. Whenever you make a character bleed, rather if you don't bite her, if you're hitting them with regular attacks, you're getting health off of them. If you bite them, you get a great amount of health, as you guys can notice. But this just increases your health pool much, well, slightly better than normal. It's only 16, which is still a good light attack with some buff on it and half of a heavy attack that you can take. And if you're healing while you're fighting, you're kind of gaining that back up, you know, so it just makes you stay alive longer. Remedy again, on top of all the healing you get, you're just constantly healing with this build. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the feats. First feat, I decided to go with Stealth. I was thinking Stun Trap because Stun Trap is kind of fun, on top of having Bear Traps and the Fire Flash, etc. Rush, one of the worst perks, I think. There's some characters who don't really have a choice, so Rush is kind of good, but in my opinion, I went Stealth only because there's a lot of maps where I end up getting jumped on by people, like the one where they had the Sands of Time event, Harbor, I think it's called. There's a couple of spots where we can jump on people and land on them and kill them, right? Now that's happened to me so much when I'm fighting somebody and a Shaman or a PK, a Peacekeeper, would jump on me, and I didn't even know they were there because of the Stealth. So I got tired of it and I started kind of doing it to other people. And I'm going to tell you for sure, Stealth does help. It also helps when people don't notice if they're around, or you're in a certain area like B and you don't see them coming. It's pretty nice. On top of that, aim assist. What it means by not allowing them to aim assist you, it means like if they have the bow or they have a kunai, they cannot aim those things directly onto you. They have to manually try to shoot you with those feats that they have. So that's something I learned about Stealth too that I thought was really awesome. So I was like, you know what, why not go with Stealth? We're already going to have a trap in this build, which would be the Bear Trap. It doesn't stun them and exhaust them. It does stop them for a second when they're in the trap. It does some good amount of damage, but it doesn't exhaust them. But it's not so bad. Now, I thought about Flesh Wound, Revenge Attacks. I don't really go for Revenge Attack too much. You'll rarely see me in any of these builds because I don't like relying on Revenge to get a win, especially to take place of any other feat that we could be using here. So moving on to why I didn't use Flesh Wound is because, you know, you're able to heal so much with the Shaman that I didn't really see too much of a use having Flesh Wound, where it only reduces the damage you take moderately every 3 seconds. So what that means is when you take damage and it's active, bam, the first damage you took that activated Flesh Wound was moderate deduction. Now for 3 seconds, you're taking normal damage. So you take one hit, maybe a light in the beginning of somebody's combo or a heavy, bam, that damage reduced a little bit. Every other follow-up hit until 3 seconds, until you see the passive flashing up again, you'll reduce that damage again by a moderate amount. I'm sorry. So this is why I went with Bear Trap, because it is Dominion, it is fun using. We do have the Fire Flash, as you can see, as the 4th feat, and if you haven't seen my Raider video where you're able to trap people and then throw a Fire Flask on them when they're in the Bear Trap, it's an instant death for them. I've done it to a whole team who were probably really mad at me, and if you guys want to check out that video, let me know and I can drop it in the comments down below. Other than that, let's move on to our third feat. Now I chose Fury over Second Wind and Hand Axe. The reason why that is because Second Wind, there's so many ways for you to heal already just with the character Shaman. And then we're in Dominion where, you know, yeah, dying sucks, but it's not like, oh my god, I better prevent it because we're in breach type status. It's like we have zones to go run and heal if we need to heal. Plus, again, the Shaman has so many ways to heal by herself. Then Hand Axe. It's pretty cool. It's not so bad. It does happen to you. My opinion, it's just like a one chance shot. If somebody sees it coming, they'll dodge it. You can end up hitting your teammate. Minions can get in the way on B if that's where the minions are when you're fighting them. And it does cause bleed damage, which allows you to get your bite in or some heals. But if you're throwing an axe, think about it. You're fighting a Shaman. Do you not expect that bleed to come? I mean, they're going to be on it more than they really would if you didn't even throw that axe. And if you miss, there goes your shot. So I was like, you know what, Fury, you can't miss it. It increases your speed to wherever you got to get to if somebody tries to run away from you. And it increases your attack and defense greatly. Not moderately, not slightly, but greatly. So you can take more hits, do more damage, and as you're doing all that, you're most likely getting some heal hits in with the Shaman. Alrighty, now Fire Flask, I kind of say why it's such a great pair up with Bear Trap. But on top of that, if your team is like winning or close to losing, or you guys are breaking and you need B to unbreak, you can throw a Fire Flask on B. And if there's the enemy teams trying to get in and take over B while you throw that Fire Flask, you're doing damage to them, which allows you and your team to go off and finish them off if needed be. And who knows, you might make the other team break when you did that. Nail Bomb, again, a lot of things with the traps, just like Bear Trap, you'll see if some people see where you plant that, they're going to just go ahead and try to, like, how would you say, avoid it by rolling out of it as soon as it goes off, which means you're not going to really get any damage done to any players. Another thing to keep in mind, it does harm you and it does harm your teammates, and this will literally put you basically into critical health, bleeding if you're not in your own zone getting some health, or if it's contested, you just messed up your whole team and yourself. Moving on to Scout. Now Scout's not a bad feat. It's pretty nice. Mark of Death, what it does is it increases the stamina cost of anybody who's marked with Scout, and it makes them take more damage. The defense is lowered, and not only that, wherever they are on the map, you don't just see like them on the radar. What you see is if they're on B and you're on A, you basically have an outline of the character in a certain color, and you can see them through the wall. You can see wherever they are wherever they're at on the battlefield, not just on your little radar. You're going to see them anywhere. It's going to highlight them for you and your teammate to let you know they're marked for death, basically. Now that's not so bad. It's a nice feat, but again, you know, we want to try to. I just feel like Fire Flask is more fun to play with. This is the reason why we went with Fire Flask over Scout. You can either change one of those up whatever way you like, but my own opinion for this build, I went with Fire Flask to match up with Bear Trap and for coincidence of B situations. I really hope you guys enjoy. That's the Shaman build, and until next time, guys, I'll see you on the battlefield and in my streams, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching.